the channel. Today I've brought explanation of the poem My Mother at 66 by Kamla Das from the book Flamingo for class 12th. I'll also be giving you a mind map for your quick revision in this video, literary devices and important questions, 15 important questions. It is a very relatable poem with a universal appeal. Before that, this is the video of the chapter The Last Lesson, quick summary with explanation of important expressions from the chapter. Now we move on to the mind map. So this is the poem My Mother at 66, written by Kamla Das. You need to remember the name of the poet. And this poem is written in free verse, and it runs as a continuous chain of thoughts. So this is a single flow of thought, and it is also known as stream of consciousness. अब ये poem जो है ये deal किससे करती है, किस बारे में है? It is the sudden realization of the poet that her mother is getting old and she would lose her. So अचानक एक दिन while the poet is driving with her mother in a car, so ये realization poet को होती है कि उसकी mother अब old हो रही है and she may lose her mother one day. This pain, this ache that she has when she looks at the pale face of her mother, so that is the poem, the realization of the poet. So the poet is driving with her mother, they are in the car, and a chance look of the poet towards her mother. So she sees her mother beside her and she looks at the pale face of the mother and equates it to a corpse, to a dead body. This is a stark comparison that the poet does. So poet जो है वो जा रहा है अपनी mother के साथ इन अ कार और एकदम से पोएट टर्न करती है और अपनी मदर के फेस की तरफ देखती है और उसे लगता है कि उसकी मदर का जो फेस है इट्स सो पेल, द कंप्लेक्शन इट इज सो डल, सो pale, so ash-like that it looked lifeless, like that of a corpse. So you can keep your book open and mark these key points in the poem as I am speaking, as we go through this mind map. Now after that, this thought, this painful thought overwhelms the poet और उसको लगता है कि ये जो thought है इससे अपनी attention जो है divert करनी है तो वो window से बाहर देखती है. So when she looks out, so she finds young trees, they are sprinting, yeah, merry children, they are spilling out of their home. So एक contrast create होता है old और young में. So beautiful contrast is there. Now she is looking outside, but then वो ज़्यादा देर बाहर भी नहीं देख सकती है. फिर उसका जो ध्यान है उसकी मदर की तरफ जाता है. So now she reaches the airport security check और वहाँ पे then again when she is at the airport, she is about to board और मुड़ के अपनी मदर की तरफ देखती है. The thought again shifts to her mother because the thought is very overwhelming, very painful. एकदम से realization हो रही है उसे कि उसकी mother जो है वो old हो रही है और अपनी जो है end of the life के नजदीक जा रही है. So mother is again, when she looks again at the mother, she again finds the mother pale and grey. Now this time the poet compares her mother's face to late winter's moon. So a second comparison. So late winter's moon, the first comparison was with that of a corpse. So I'll be explaining these two comparisons in detail when we will do the explanation. Now after that, her childhood fear surfaces. बचपन में भी पोएट को ये हमेशा डर रहा है कि वो अपनी मदर से दूर ना हो जाए कहीं. सो बचपन में so she had made it a point कि वो अपनी मदर को अकेला छोड़ के ना जाए. But now as an adult, she cannot stay with her mother. She has her own commitments. So as an adult उसे ये अपनी पेन हाइड करनी भी आ गई है. सो वो फियर जो है एक बार दोबारा आता है. बट एज अ ग्रोन अप नाउ शी हैज अदर कमिटमेंट्स, शी हैज हर ओन फैमिली टू लुक आफ्टर. सो शी जस्ट होप्स टू सी हर अगेन. सो बिडिंग गुड बाय there at the airport, she just says, "See you soon, Amma." And she wears a smile on her face. The smile is to hide her pain. The smile is a reassuring smile. She is reassuring herself And she is hiding that pain from her mother, although she knows that her mother is aging and she might not see her mother again. So, but the poet hides that pain. She has other commitments. She cannot stay with her mother, so she moves on with a smile. Now, the literary devices that we will find in this poem. So, we'll look for simile, we'll find simile, then there's personification, there's metaphor, there's tautology. So I'll be dealing with all these along with alliteration and repetition. These are the literary devices. These are the main ones that I've listed here. Then the tone of the poem that is important. It is a confessional tone. So the poet is confessing that what she realized that day. So it's sad, it's emotive, and it's a gloomy poem with a universal appeal. Now, the explanation, line by line explanation. So, driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday. So, this is the moment that the poet is discussing, last Friday's moment. The poet was driving from her parents' home to Cochin. I saw my mother beside me, doors open mouth. So, you can see old lady, sleeping, dozing off, mouth open, her face ashen like that of a corpse. So pale complexion of the face you can see, still like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked. So this is the explanation. The poet was heading to the airport in a car from her parents' home to go back to her home in Cochin when a chance look at her mother who was sitting beside her shudders her to the core. अब ऐसा नहीं है कि पोइट ने पहले कभी रियलाइज नहीं किया कि उसकी मदर ओल्ड हो रही है या उसको पता ही नहीं कि उसकी मदर ओल्ड है. No, it's not like that. It is when the poet is driving, the mother is sitting, the mother is dozing off. नींद आ गई है मदर को because of weakness of old age. और एकदम से जब पोएट का ध्यान जाता है, so at that moment वो एक realization होती है that she has become old, so old, and she is nearing her death. So that realization shudders the poet to the core. Her mouth was dozing, her mouth was dozing, mouth open, the mother was dozing, mouth open, and her face looked pale and lifeless like that of a corpse. So this is the comparison. Pale and lifeless face like that of a dead body. She lacked vitality. Now, this stark comparison is to show the age of the mother. She had become so old. She was near death. It was the last leg of her life. So she was still lying there, still lacked vitality. It was painful for the poet to realize that her mother has grown old. She was actually as old as she looked. So she was looking as old as she looked. The poet might not have realized this before कि उसकी mother जो है इतनी aged हो गई है. But that at that moment the poet realized this. So dozed mouth here, it is an image of a debilitated and weak woman due to age. So age के कारण जो weakness आ जाती है. So that is the image that is created by the poet. Then the poet says, but soon put that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting, merry children spelling out of their homes. So these are the two images that are the two images created by the poet. So वो जो एक thought है, painful thought है, poet उसे जो हटाना चाहता अपने दिमाग से. So the poet looks out towards the other side. और वहां पे क्या नजर आता है poet को? Young trees sprinting. So it is relative motion obviously. The car is moving and trees, poet को लगता है कि जो trees है वो तेजी से दूसरी तरफ जा रहे हैं. And merry children, they are spilling out of their homes. To her, the thought was so overwhelming that she looked out of the window to divert her attention and saw green trees moving past their car. So green trees उसे नजर आते हैं moving past their car. She also saw happy children running out of their homes to play. So these are the two images that she witnesses. Now look at the contrast that is created by the poet between her old mother lacking energy and vitality and young trees and lively and energetic children. So old woman sleeping, dozing off, mouth opened, and look at this movement. Trees, young and fresh, they are running past, and children full of energy and zeal. So, this comparison is created by the poet. A beautiful comparison here. Now, after that, so it compares two different worlds. One old, aging, sick, and weak, and other young, youthful, robust, and brimming with energy. A momentary glance to the other side, where she sees young green trees moving, though due to the moving car, and full of life children coming out of their homes. It captures the span of years lived by her mother. So दोनों तरफ जो है एक कंट्रास्ट क्रिएट किया है. So बच्चे जो हैं वो अपने घरों से तेजी से भागते हुए बाहर आ रहे हैं. तो young fresh green trees जो है वो पीछे की तरफ जो है तेजी से भाग रहे हैं. सो एक इमेज क्रिएट हुआ है, द जर्नी, द स्पैन, जो मदर ने कवर कर लिया है. एंड नाउ द मदर इज इन द लास्ट लेग ऑफ हर लाइफ. सो वंस यंग, नाउ शी सीम्ड टू बी एज ओल्ड एज शी लुक्ड. बट आफ्टर द एयरपोर्ट सिक्योरिटी चेक, सो पोएट जो है विंडो की तरफ, दूसरी तरफ ये इमेजेस जो देख रहा है, बट शी इज नॉट एबल टू look out for long. So at the airport security check, again the thought जो है वो वापस उसकी मदर की तरफ जाती है. So standing a few yards away, I looked again at her. So poet जो है वो दोबारा अपनी मदर की तरफ देखती है. Wan, pale as late winter's moon. So again उसी मदर जो है वो wan and pale लगती है, like late winter's moon, and felt that old familiar ache, my childhood fear. So अब उसके दिमाग में वो childhood fear जो है वो दोबारा से उभर के आता है. So the poet could not keep those painful thoughts at bay for long. After the security check at the airport, when it was time for her to board her plane, she again looked at her mother. She seemed sallow, sickly, and pale as the late winter's moon. So which is not so bright but misty due to fog. So जो winter moon है वो summer moon की तरह bright नहीं होता. So there is fog, misty होता है वो moon. So इसलिए जो poet है उसने अपनी mother का face जो है वो late winter's moon के साथ compare किया है. So late winter because obviously late winter towards the end. So poet की जो mother थी वो भी अपनी लाइफ की एंड की तरफ थी. सो इट dawned upon the poet that she might lose her mother, and this reminded her of the same fear. So उस टाइम से वो रियलाइज होता है कि she might not see her mother during her next visit, और फिर उसका वो बचपन का जो सेम fear है वो दोबारा से उभर के आ जाता है. So she had in her childhood the fear to lose her mother one day. So winter here also symbolizes end, darkness, gloom, death. So being in the last leg of life. So therefore, late winter's moon. But all I said was, see you soon, Amma. All I did was smile and smile and smile. Now, poet जो है वो grown up lady है, तो उसे अपना दर्द, अपना fear जो है वो छुपाना आता है. So वो अपने mother से वो fear, वो pain जो है वो छुपाना चाहती है. And therefore, she just says she's not able to speak her pain. She's not able to tell her mother about her fear. So वो सिर्फ see you soon अम्मा कहती है और smile करती है अपनी mother की तरफ. So she just smiles, unable to postpone her other commitments. The poet seems to be helpless. She knows her mother has entered the last leg of her life. The word last is missing here. So has entered the last leg of her life. So her childhood fear can become true any time. So अब उसे पता है कि वो जो childhood fear है वो कभी भी सच हो सकता है. But she didn't let those thoughts overwhelm her. So वो अपने face पे वो बिल्कुल उभर के नहीं आने देती. So bidding goodbye to her mother, she wished to see her again and just smiled and smiled and smiled. Though a made-up smile. So वो जो smile है, obviously एक fake smile है. She smiled to hide her true emotions and keep herself hopeful of meeting her mother again. और एक reassuring smile है. अपने आप को ही दिलासा दे रही है कि अगली बार हम फिर मिलेंगे. हालांकि उसके अंदर एक डर है कि हो सकता है अगली बार तक उसकी जो मदर है Maybe she's not alive. She didn't want to show her fear to her mother, and therefore that smile, that fake smile, comes on her face. It is, sorry, as an adult to hide her feelings. So the repetition of the word smile, it is a reassurance of the poet to herself amidst the gloomy thoughts of death of her mother, to see her mother soon. So there's a reassurance, there's hopefulness. But ये जो hopefulness है, ये gloomy hopefulness है वो, because she knows that this may not be true. She might not be meeting her mother next time. Now the literary devices. So first, the rhyme scheme. The poem is written in free verse. It maintains a single flow of thought, as I've explained before, also known as stream of consciousness. So there's simile. Her face ashen like that of a corpse. So like that of a corpse, already explained. उसको dead body के साथ जो face, pale face है mother का, उसको compare किया है. Then I looked again at her. Then wan pale as late winter's moon. So again, use of word as here, comparison के लिए. So this is again simile. So wan or pale face जो है, it's just compared with the late winter's moon. Then personification, young tree sprinting. Sprinting, it means running here. So therefore trees जो है उसको personify किया गया. Repetition of the word smile. Then tautology. Now what is tautology? Tautology is when the poets they use different words with the same meaning in the same line. So like wan and pale, they both the words, the meaning is same. Pale, ash-like. So therefore the use of both these words in the same line, it is the literary device of tautology. Then metaphor, children spilling. Now this image that is created here, spilling, children like water spilling. So therefore it's metaphor. So the image of children coming out of their homes, it is as if the poet is showing water spilling out. So that is why it is metaphor here. जो बच्चे हैं उनको पानी की तरह कहा गया है. Then enjambment. So there are many lines in the poem that will show enjambment. The poem, many lines of the poem, they run into successive lines without any punctuation mark. Like you'll find driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday. So this is enjambment. You'll find other lines also. Then alliteration. I saw my mother beside me too. So ma sound here is alliterating, and you can find other examples from the poem yourself. Then assonance. Assonance is a repetition of a vowel sound, like in this line, the merry children spilling out of their home. So I sound here. Then doors open mouth her face. So O sound here. Then other examples, you can look for them. Assonance is vowel sounds, A, E, I, O, U. Then consonants, it is the sound of consonants, like in this line, that she was as old as she. So sir sound here, it is repeating. So these are the literary devices, and these are the image credits of the images that I have used in this poem. And now the important questions. These are the 15 important questions that I will be covering, but in the next video, because otherwise this video will become very long. So these are the 7 questions. You can just read these questions. These are the next 15 important questions from this poem. I'll be dealing with all these questions in the next video. So what you have to do, you just need to subscribe and be with me. So bye for now and happy preparation.